Welcome to the surprise live stream, friends. I've been working all day, and you would think that this just kind of felt like what I wanted to do, so that's what I decided to do. What up? You guys know Indy? Okay, so I have popcorn. Apparently we're fans of popcorn tonight. You want a piece? Okay. All right. So yeah, no, this is me. This is me IRL in real life. How's the audio, you guys? Is the audio okay? Let me know. We have some questions over here. As you know, I like to play some games, and this is my popcorn, okay? All right, you're welcome to ask me questions. I also have some questions that we can play along with. So that'll be fun. Okay, so yes, audio is fine. Thank you. Let me know your question if you got one. No, this is called uncommon questions. Did I study physics? No, but I'm a quantum physics enthusiast as of the age of 14 years old. That's what I got into at that age. Masculine versus feminine NI, what's the difference? Okay, so masculine NI is like a freight train, as in it'll plow through any sensory in order to get to the destination. Feminine FI is more like a bus. It'll make different stops and it'll kind of meander on its way to getting where it has to go. So that's the best way I could separate the masculine and feminine NI. Do I like INFJs? Yeah, they're great. Everyone has their strong suit somewhere, you know? So all types, you can find something good in any type. That's what I say. All right, so, gosh. All right. Oh, geez, these are difficult to answer. What is the worst place you've ever tried to sleep? You guys can answer these too. What is the worst place you've ever tried to sleep? Indy, stop. I'm not going to give you any more popcorn. You're done. I would say the worst place I've ever had to sleep was when I was camping, but I was on an inflatable mattress and it deflated as I was sleeping. And there was like there was like a very bad hole in it. And there was just like no way to reinflate it easily or patch it. And so I was like stuck in the ground taco for, a night or two. So that was a hard place to sleep because you're like, I should just get rid of this for the sake of the floor. But then you're like, but it's also like more than nothing, but it's not very good. Wooden floor, an airplane, bench in the hospital, subway, hard floor. Yeah, the floor is but sometimes the floor also kind of feels nice. Like I think it seems nice on your back sometimes, maybe. Yeah, the hard ground. I don't know. There's something raw and wonderful about it, but also not so much. Let's see. Oh, this is interesting. I don't know how I'm going to answer this one yet. Jenna, thank you. Isn't he? He's very cute. It's not fair. And he knows he's cute too, which makes it even more annoying. Okay, so here you guys can answer this one. So, okay, is there something you wanted for a long time but disliked once you finally had it? Is there something you wanted for a long time but disliked when you finally had it? Well, thanks, guys. Slept in jail. Wow. Okay. Something I wanted for a long time but disliked when I finally had it. Why does it seem so hard to answer? I'm sure there's something. I was going to say maybe like a unicycle, but it's like I had only wanted that for about like 6 or 10 months before I ended up getting one off Craigslist. I got a unicycle off Craigslist, tried to learn how to ride it. That didn't go well. So I would say maybe that's something. It's not like I disliked it, just that I royally failed at it. So if that's your, let's see. Okay. Oh, thank you for the congratulations on the 10,000 subs. Yeah, that's crazy, right? Oh yeah, you're a Furby. Oh my gosh, yes, you remember that. The Furby would be a good one. Yeah, I did not. I wanted the Furby very badly, and then I realized that the Furby sucked. 12 years old, kids, not very good. I don't think I ever explained either what happened is, so the Furby that I wanted very much when I was 12 years old, or thought I wanted, I got it, and then it got stuck on the feed me. When it says feed me, it got stuck saying that thing over and over and over again. And I remember my parents weren't home and this thing wouldn't shut up. So I took it and I threw it up in the back of my closet. But then I realized like I could still hear it and now I couldn't reach it. And so now I was just stuck with this Furby like yelling until my parents got home. It was ridiculous. Furbies were the devil. I would agree. How is my quarantine going? It's okay. It's very I mean, in my day job I'm considered essential staff, so I still go in there sometimes, and yeah, so okay, so what is the most that one's dumb. Ooh, this one's interesting. All right. Yeah, right. Indy is very SF cute. It's ridiculous. Okay, this is a good one for you. I want you guys to answer this one too. So, what is something you are good at but wish you weren't? What is something you are good at but wish you weren't? Yes, happy quarantine Easter. What do I do for a job? My day job is I work as a creative director. So I work in like on the scale of marketing of sorts, but more of like strategy and campaigns. And for in like the natural health field. All right, so the only thing I can think of is like I'm good at pulling something off if I need to. It's just that a lot of times you get deferred a lot of responsibility for things that you necessarily don't want to have responsibility for, because people are like, oh yeah, you can do that. And you're just like, well, yeah, I mean, I can technically do that, but you know. Crystal, I'm good at ignoring dissing people when I'm focused or not wanting to talk. But I mean, sometimes like that's considered rude. Yeah, I'm with you on that. I can be very dismissive when I'm focused on something as well. Like if I'm focused and in the zone and you try to talk to me, it's just like not the most pleasant version of myself. You know what I mean? Okay. Really good at being alone, but I want to be more social. Then when I try, I just end up feeling like it isn't for me. Yeah, I'm good at being alone as well. I'm alone right now, except for Indy over here. You can see his little ear. His little big ear. Solving problems. Yeah, same. All right, moving on. Next question. Okay, here we go. Are we all INTJs, Jenny? I don't know. That'd be, oh my gosh. Can you guys hear my Slack notifications going off? Okay, so what event in your life taught you the most about yourself? What event in your life taught you the most about your heckin' self? I would say the event in my life that taught me the most about myself was, you guys have probably heard this before, But the moment, I guess you could say, the moment I realized I could not FE well when I was 27 years old. Yeah, when I realized I could not FE, and I didn't know what FE was at the time because I was not in typology at that time. And yeah, I realized I could not FE, and I realized it was going to be a big deficit in my life based on the circumstance if I didn't figure it out. So then I went on the quest to figure it out, figure out why I sucked at it, and then I became committed to being better at it. So here we are now. Let's see. Divorce will teach you a lot about yourself. Full line TJ's here, yeah. Last boss, yeah. What's FE? What does it look like? FE is extroverted feeling, and it is one's ability to know and understand the values of people around them and be very tuned into the outside world's emotional spectrum. And even if you have FE in fourth place, so even if you're an INTP and you have FE fourth place, you still have more FE than an INTJ like myself. So be noted, FE is a hard function for me because my feeling is introverted FI. And so I take the world of emotions very personally, and it's just very personal, I guess is the way to say it. Not like everyone, okay, everyone has feelings that are personal, but the way that people on the TEFI axis perceive it is just very different than the TI FE axis. Harmonize and environment others through understanding others. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. Okay, cool. I'm going to get these cards. I need some different ones, not like in that stack. All right. Oh, gosh. All right. You guys answer too. What fashion trends have you tried in the past? What fashion trends have you tried in the past? What fashion trends have I tried in the past? I feel like this shouldn't be a hard question to answer. But why does it seem very difficult? Fashion trends I've tried in the past. I think all clothing is technically a fashion trend of some sort. Trend, no. Trend Lindsay means what's SF popular. SF popularity Lindsay. I don't know. Gosh. Do you guys have any good answers? Let's see. Wearing tacky jewelry, high-rise jeans. It sucked. Okay, you guys have good answers. Face mask. That's funny. Skinny jeans, skater shoes. Okay, you guys are making me feel better. I like your answers. Never followed a trend. Okay, cool. Suit, hats, ties, band t-shirts. Let's see. Pink shirts. I totally bought the Balenciaga sock trainers. No regrets. Let's see. Oh, actually, I know something that I tried that was a trend in the past. Or, okay, so jeans. I got a pair of jeans once because I hate jeans. I've always hated jeans. I think they're terrible. I think they're just they suck the life out of your legs because they're heavies. And I was like, that was terrible. That never wore them again. So, okay, I'm not going to go back to that question. Ooh, okay. What type of puzzles are you good at? What type of puzzles? Yeah, I know a lot of people like jeans. I think it's cool if you like jeans. I don't know. I just couldn't get down the jean train. Like, it's a train that was not meant for me to ride. What type of puzzles are you best at? None of them. Let's see. Abstract. Huh? Riddles. Yeah, riddles count as puzzles. So here's my answer, right? I think everything is a puzzle. I think people are some of my most favorite puzzles because they are fun to solve because they're dynamic, right? They're not a static puzzle. People are just dynamic puzzles that once you figure them out, then that understanding then serves you more in life because now you figured out a people puzzle, and now that people puzzle goes into your bank of okay, of it is it's thrilling. Other kinds of puzzles that I like. Possible solution. When someone says there's no possible solution, it's like that's my puzzle. Like watch me go figure that thing out. Whatever it is, it could be anything, but they're never like game puzzles. So anyway, yeah, people are puzzles. I mean, they're thrilling puzzles. Let's see. Oh, do I know my tri-type Enneagram? Yes, everything's a puzzle. It's wonderful. If people are puzzles, I'm the best at them. Okay, why are you the best at puzzles of the people? Let me know. Oh, congrats on the 2 business. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been a fun ride. Snug is launched. It's out there in the world. If you know guys who are, if anyone, flirting is kind of a puzzle. Yeah, that's definitely a puzzle. I try to think about that now, and I'm like, how would I do that? I don't know. Let's see. Okay. Oh, Bean says, I'm an ENFP dating an INTJ. Pro tips? Question mark. I would say if you're an ENFP dating an INTJ, a pro tip would be to, I'm trying to think of something that you wouldn't normally do that might take some effort. Oh, yes. If they're on a timeline to do something, try your hardest to match their timeline. So if they're like, we have to get this and this done by this-ish time, like try your hardest to kind of get on that pace. Because what I found is with ENFP, sometimes I tend to be waiting. And then the plan, it gets delayed. And gosh, if the plan gets delayed, we get a little antsy, and no one wants that. Joey, what's up? What's people who use FE? Do you have an aversion or admiration towards them? Show us your best FE impression. Wow. Okay, 10 out of 10. Okay, so my experience with people who use FE. So and we ended up becoming friends, and then we ended up getting an apartment together. And we were like the longest standing roommates, I think, together. And it was a good natural relationship because she was just good with people and I just wasn't as good, but I was still very much able to listen to her, and we just kind of connected on like 2 different spectrums with TE and FE in just a very interesting way. So like we kind of, and the thing is she was really, really good with, I think I just learned a lot from her because she was really good with people with FE, and I didn't know what that was at the time, but I could see it in her, and I really enjoyed understanding that from her perspective. And then she could also take a lot of the extroverted burden away from me when we were in social situations. My best FE impression. Okay, my best FE impression. We're seeing. It's about as good as it's going to get. Okay. That felt so awkward. Okay. Internet friend. Hi, internet friend. Spirituality. I say yes to the abstract. I think everyone needs to be connected with something beyond themselves. Do I consider myself a Jungian? Yes, I'm a Jungian girl to the core. Let's see. Oh, it's 3 a.m. where you are. Should you go to bed? I don't know. Are you tired? Perhaps. Okay, I'm catching up. Let's see. All right. She's not a lesbian. She's an INTJ. That you made me laugh. 10 out of 10. How do I tell if I lead with extroverted thinking or introverted intuition? All right, so that's a big question. I mean, I can go far into it, but I'll try to keep it brief. If you lead with TE, that means you're going to be an EJ. If you lead with an TE function and their self function, their FI. So there's going to be more of a polarity when dealing with people and the self. There's going to seem like there's a large gap there, that it's going to be harder for you to jump back to what you value personally, what is true for you. It's going to be weirder. IJs, we have more struggles with control and chaos. We have NI at the top, right? Organizing like abstract concepts down into narrowed in entities, and then SE at the bottom. So we struggle more with the something just moved behind me. Was it Indy? He's right there. Look at his big little ears. He's very cute. Okay. What's my favorite type of food? My favorite type of food is watermelon. I love watermelon. I could just live off watermelon for a long time, I think, if I had to. Very hydrating. Let's see. Bye, Mr. Sasky. Let's see. That should be on a t-shirt. I'm not sure what should be on a t-shirt, but let's see. Okay, what is sleep processing like as a hobby? Could you describe it for us? Okay. Sleep processing like as a hobby animal. So I would say that I make it seem like it's a really big deal. So having sleep third, I will if I'm freaking like rant about it a little bit about about how much I need it and how important it is to me, even though I don't prioritize it in more of the majority of my day. So you love watermelon? Yes. It's just amazing. Watermelon fans in the house. Yes. Let's see. What do you think? What does TE mean to you? TE means to me, TE is really about the integration of the logic in reality. So TE, it really hones in on not so much what just makes sense to me, but what makes sense according to what the world requires. And actually, we'll say that often. I'll say what the world requires. And that's really just my TE through my language. So let's see. How do you think extroverted intuition works differently from introverted intuition? Wow. To me, I see them very differently, even though they're both ends. If someone is intuition dominant, you don't hear them talking about real things very much. They're talking about the idea of, the concept of, and they're not talking about this card here, or the other day I went into my car and I pulled over with my steering wheel. Like, that's a very literal conversation. If you listen to how I speak and how other N dominants speak, we're talking about the idea of, and that may be incorporating things that do exist in reality, but they're not real in the context we're speaking of, because we're talking in a conceptual blur, right? And then NI is more narrow. So NI is doing that to a focused point, and NE is doing that to throw out the ideas and the possibilities outwards in terms of what about this idea? What about this concept? So to me, I see them very differently, but yeah. I love how everyone's like firing off on watermelon right now, which also I had popcorn. Guys made me forget about it. Okay. Okay, Scott Smith. Op question. How do you feel about how much if I choke on popcorn, you guys are responsible for calling 911? I'm just saying, because I'm gonna it's actually probably a really bad idea. How do you feel about your type being all in on NINTE? Double masculine. Yep. Double activated. Top 2 functions. Yes. Scott Smith. How do you know me so well? Yes, I am very, so of course I save your functions. And I think you do see that if I'm not in a state where I'm consciously being balanced and I'm not consciously trying to balance myself, which really is an NI goal of mine. So generally speaking, I can pull off balance decently well if I have to. But if I'm just going all in on my saviors, which I tend to do from time to time, and I have been doing more recently because of the work and projects I've been doing, I'm so disconnected from SF that kind of like before when I got this like question, like what fashion trends have you tried in the past? I couldn't answer that question, and I ended up answering it with jeans. Like, do you see that disconnect from SF reality? It's stupid. Okay. So when they're talking about top heavy, where you really see the deficit is in those bottom 2 functions and their activation. So that shouldn't be a hard question to answer. That's my fault for being like that. Eating popcorn with chopsticks is the only way. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Continue to roll down here. Here's a puzzle. Find abstracted significance in your sensor friends describing their day. Yes. So when I hear people with sensory describing their day, you absolutely know what they did during the day. Like they will tell you in reality what they actually did. You ask someone who's N dominant what they did that day. If it's someone like me, I'm just like, yeah, I did some stuff, you know. I don't like reporting on my day. There's just too much actually that like went on, and to bring the words out to talk about it is way too much work. So, but yes, asking someone with sensory what they did, or asking them about something real, get ready for some excellent sensory. Hello, fellow INTJ. Oh, Bean says, I told my INTJ I would try to match his timeline, and he was very appreciative. I'm glad. Let's see. Have you ever met an ISTP? Like Delamon 007 has asked. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, guys. A few people have asked me if I've met ISTPs. Yeah, my business partner is an ISTP. So if you guys saw like one of my last videos, like the actual thing, we're together in the behind the scenes of that video together. So yeah, what the actual thing video. But yeah, I work with an ISTP like multiple times a week, and we work very, very well together. So yeah, ISTPs are fascinating and a highly underrated type, in my opinion. However, they were very hard for me to figure out in the very beginning, because I was definitely like, I don't know why ISTPs were hard for me to like grasp what was going on there. They were hard for me to grasp because I couldn't understand where the motivation lay for them. other than the fact that they would say things like, oh, like I have a chip on my shoulder, like that's what will like make me go into overdrive to try to do something. Like if someone pisses me off, I will try 10 times harder to prove them wrong. And I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work for me. So I had to really figure that out anyway. So how does an INTJ fare with an ENFJ relationship? I mean, one of my best, I said a little bit earlier, but one of my best friends is an ENFJ. So Hannah says, what struggles do you have with low consume? Yeah, so if you guys don't know, in the OP method, I have consume last. So how about them apples? Which means if I do consume something, it's basically in the same wheelhouse of things that I already consume or already interested in. So sorry, my leg was falling asleep. How do I struggle having consumed last? It's just like I just don't prioritize doing things and like taking in things for myself. And so sometimes it'll get to the point where like at the end of the week, I'm like, I haven't done anything for myself in a really long time. And like that just sounds like so basic. But I mean, yeah, it's like I feed myself and I try to exercise, and like that's like the extent of consuming really for myself. So it's a strange dynamic, and sometimes it's like you should kind of give to yourself more than you do. So yeah. Scott says doesn't I have no one to talk about opt really. Oh, you're right. NETI glass lizard with double masculine, double activated TI-SI. Interesting. I feel so weird compared to how others function. Yeah, that's a really interesting. So you're an NT nerd like myself. Well, you have that activated SI, which is actually thanks, Joey. 10K subs. It was, I was like, wow, we got here. That's wild. Why do I think ISTPs are undervalued? I would say I think ISTPs are undervalued because they're so concerned on like getting ahead for themselves and like the things that they kind of want to do that they fly like I fly under the radar, but they fly way under the radar until they don't want to. And so I feel like no one kind of sees the ISTPs until they come out with like their fist swinging and they've done like a really amazing thing. And so I think they just kind of get looked past because they're actually doing things in reality that like for themselves. So ISTPs are very private and stoic. They can be. Yes. Can you please tell the difference between blast with masculine DE and blast with feminine DE? Okay, so I'm a good example for being a blast first person with masculine DE. So I have masculine NI and I have masculine TE and blast first. Stereotypical INTJ or Myers-Briggs INTJ. So blast first with the masculine DE means that I am more punchy with how I address the tribe. So like I'm sure even if you scroll back through this live stream, kind of how I address you guys is more like it's more punchy, it's more direct. I kind of try to answer things like so you can compare it to feminine FI. So my outer world is a little bit more pushy, and my inner world, my feminine FI, which is the coin of masculine TE, is way more movable. It's way more feminine. It's gentle. It's a little baby is what I like to call it. So my inner world is a little baby, and I'm like this boss bitch on the outside sometimes. So that's how I would describe it. And then same thing for masculine FE. For me, if I see masculine FE as a savior, it seems way more normal than feminine FE as a savior. Feminine FE as a savior, I'm like, what is that function? It's strange, which is just my perception towards it. But the masculine FE looks so much more like I recognize it as a DE function the way I kind of see myself in some ways. So that's interesting. Let's see. ENFP, best for a relationship, most amazing, awesome. Let's see. My ISTP buddy is very hedonistic. Interesting. How so? I hate, for a second, I read that as I hate sprouts, but politics, that I obsess about, which would be a very funny statement. But sports also makes sense. Favorite fictional novel? I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. Let's see. Bye, Bean Bean. Your grandpa was an ISTP. How can an INTJ result from an ESFP family? I don't know, but I mean, power to you. And the thing is, ESFPs are not all like, they're not all that far away because we have the same function axes. It's just like different saviors. So in a lot of this ways, you are still using the same functions as them, just in a different order, which makes communication easier than, like, let's say if it was like an INTP, you know? So where do you find yourself an INTJ? Right here on the good old internet. Let's see. I'm too technical. Dang it. I don't know how to be less technical when you're talking about type. Like, it's just hard. Have you found opportunities to develop your inferior function during quarantine? I haven't really been working on my inferior functions that much, to be honest with you, because I've still been working. I've actually been working more during quarantine than I have not in quarantine. Not all at my job, but just like some in job, some out of job. And my work everywhere has been 10 times more intense. So I really have just been in a savior state, doubling down on my saviors, going all in, preparing for the swing of my demon functions, hoping they're nice to me. How, as an INTJ, are you so comfortable doing these live AMAs? See, like, so this is the thing about these AMAs, like the way that people ask me questions or the ones that I answer, they're not really personal, if you guys have kind of noticed that. And I'm not saying ask me personal questions now, but if I can kind of make it about the topic, that's what I do. And I just kind of position it about, oh, this is how you look at this thing. Versus, like, I feel like some people's AMAs are like, what did you eat for breakfast? And they're like, well, I had avocado toast and oatmeal. And, like, it's just like, those are never going to be the kind of AMAs that I do. Indy, what do you want? Stop whining. Come here. You want this? Go get it. All right. Oh, Jake. So yeah, the masculine and feminine functions, those, if you look at the OP method, they talk about that more. And it's basically, I call it an affect that's attached to the function and how it comes across to people. It makes a crap ton of sense when you start to actually study it. So yes. What sources do you prefer for psychological studies? I prefer objective personalities method because it's provable, double fold, double blind. If you'd be into a debate, what would be your arguments of not actually being an INTJ? Like, so if someone isn't if you're into a debate, what were your arguments of not actually being an INTJ? Okay, so you're saying if someone wasn't an INTJ, what would the argument be? I think I have a video on that. Okay. What is the ISTP order of feminine, masculine? So it depends on the person, Sam. So though you have the right functions listed out there, but the person who you're typing, they could either have masculine TI or they could have feminine TI. They could either have masculine SE or they could have feminine SE. And because TI and FE are a coin, if one is masculine, the other one has to be feminine. So if you have masculine TI, that means you're going to have feminine FE. And same thing with the other two. So hope that helps. Oh, wow. INTJs are still human. Yes, we are. What are some INTJs struggle? Why do some INTJs struggle with procrastination? I don't know. It might be like our marination process is so. I don't feel as though I procrastinate, but sometimes it takes me a long time to marinate on the thing, so I'm sure of how to do it. And so it's like I don't really have dead time, but sometimes the time to action something is a lot longer than, let's say, an ISTP who is just like so fast. Can you talk about an INTJ and INTJ working relationship? I mean, I work well with other INTJs because we understand each other well. Indy, stop. The ball's under the couch. His ball rolled under the couch. He's upset. I work well with other INTJs and ENTJs. I just have great working relationships with them because we get it. Our saviors are the same. ENTJs are just in a different order. And it's easy for us to kind of get on the same page and then action. So I like working with other INTJs. Even though all your failures are gonna, or like all your weak points are gonna be in the same area, so that's not as efficient, but that's okay. Let's see. Where do you find INTJs? You're an ENFP. Gosh. I mean, honestly, if you're searching the internet, like go to quantum physics videos, check out those comment sections, forums on those topics. If you find a female or male, whatever you're looking for, chances are they might be an INTJ. Something on black holes. Let's like go into like the black holes forums on Reddit. You know, you'll find one. What did I eat for breakfast? Oh, so what did I actually eat for breakfast? Cereal, I think. Let's see. Okay. How long have I been doing this? 45 minutes. Wow. Okay. Can you or do you speed read? No. I'm terrible at speed reading. I read very slowly. It takes me a long time to literally take in the sensory with my eyeballs and process it in my brain. I'm a very slow reader. Yeah, I just will be. If I can read a few, like the first few lines of a few different paragraphs and get the idea, I would do that instead because it takes me so long to read. Literally taking in the sensory. Think about it. Taking in the sensory. So Cactus Jack talking about changing personality type. So I don't think you can change your type. I believe it's tied into your genetics, but I believe anyone can get good at any function if you try to understand it very well and you try to improve those functions or simulate functions that you don't have. I believe you can be a very well-rounded individual who can fake it till they make it in most situations. So what type is the least favorite? I don't know. I think all types they have good aspects of them. You can learn something from anyone. So just take that as a piece of information. Cotton cat. I'm wondering what a gender fluid function would look like. It sounds more like you're talking about the feminine function. The feminine function is more movable. So it is more fluid in a lot of ways. How can you know which functions are masculine and which are feminine, and why affect? And what effect does that have on the person? So masculine functions are more pushy, and feminine functions are more movable. So I have feminine FI as a demon, which means it's a movable feeling function. So so that's overpowered by my masculine TE. So if something's not going to work, if the logic of something isn't like working, if I feel a certain way about something, but logically it doesn't make sense in a situation, my masculine TE is going to push and my feminine FI is always going to move. Like it'll just move and move and move until sometimes I don't even know where it went. And I'm like, what do I like about this situation right now? Maybe I don't like it very much at all, you know? So it's a very masculine is a way to describe a pushier function as its affect, and feminine is more movable. It'll change easier. So okay. Wow, I need to drink some water, guys, because INTJs don't want to be found. That's funny. You sucked at reading comprehension until after high school. Yeah, that's where I saw it too. For myself, was like the reading comprehension. I was just really slow compared to other kids. It just took me. Now, if it was okay for me to slowly read something, then I'd get it. But sometimes those tests were so fast that it was harder to do. So. How do y'all de-stress? That's funny. I was just having a conversation with someone about that earlier. Like, how do you de-stress? I kind of said, like, sometimes exercise feels like a good way to de-stress because it just feels like more of a processing time for myself personally. It's like you're kind of putting some physical pain on yourself, and it just allows you to kind of zone somewhere else rather than all the things that are happening, like all the things I need to be doing, all the things that like are on the timeline of NITE life. Sometimes that timeline is pretty freaking packed. So sometimes exercise helps to de-stress me. Hey Lindsay, I want your opinion. Do you think SE is the most function connected to the conscious mind, and NI the least, which means it's the most connected to the unconscious mind? So I feel like consciousness can be described through. I feel like consciousness, it depends on how you're defining it for yourself, right? So what are you defining as consciousness? So like the way I tend to define consciousness is like, I feel like consciousness is more of our default state of function. So like I am more conscious to my savior functions because that is what my brain operates through first. So I might not even realize I'm using them as much as I do, but I'm conscious to them because they are the most real to me. Now I see how you're kind of defining it with conscious versus unconscious. But like for myself, I feel more unconscious to SE because it's like my state of consciousness is flowing through the NI and the TE. And so that's why I have so many SE accidents is because I am more unconscious to it. But however, if SE is your savior, I feel like you'd be more attuned to that. Okay, so do you think good reading comprehension has to do with high consume? Yes, Hannah. I feel like those who have consume high, especially as a savior, which feeds into your earlier question. Very good. Very smart of you. Yes, I feel like those who have consumed high, it's almost I feel like it's probably even a practice element to it, is that they're used to that taking in process and it's more default to them. And I feel like, yes, they would be better readers and more quickly. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to read. Literally, what were we just talking about? Have you read the book Emotional Intelligence? I feel like I might have downloaded it on my iPad and not read it, which sounds like something I would do. The way that's worked best for me, Stephanie, for improving FE has been to studying people on YouTube who have FE as a first savior. So someone like Gary Vee, FE first savior, ridiculously good at FE. Ridiculously good. And so I find I'll just take one or two of his tools, his FE tools, I'll put them in my pocket. I can use them when I need to. So how would you describe an INTJ with masculine NI and feminine TE? Wait, did I read that right? Masculine NI and feminine TE. So that means they would be a double feminine INTJ. They would just be more, they would be more strict, not strict, but they would address things more in reality with the masculine sensory that they would have, and they'd be more movable with the tribe. So if you'd win the lottery, would you keep the same job? If I won the lottery, I'd invest it all into my business, and that would probably become my full-time job. How scientific is this stuff? It is, if you look into objective personality, it's pretty scientific because they do double-blind studies on observing the same person and getting the same 512 type. And statistically, the ability to do that is very small percentage of randomly getting the same exact type as someone else typing on a 512 scale. So relatively scientific, in my opinion. No, my essay didn't fail to recognize you. I know who you are. Okay. All right. Who's a good YouTuber to watch and learn to human? So what's good about YouTube is if you just kind of search the general like top trending feeds, there's a lot of SF there, and SF is really how to human well, like how to do a good human. Check into SF, they do it very well. So even if you just run down some videos on that, and even if you're like, oh, these videos are kind of stupid or whatever, be like, okay, you may think that video is stupid, but why do so many people like it? Make that into your new puzzle. Make your puzzle the game of why do so many people like this thing that I think is stupid? And then use that as triangulation to learn about those functions. Zing. Have a good night, Scott. What up, Astrid? You never watch on trending. Yeah, I know. It's crazy, right? What happens if an INTJ has privacy completely invaded, for example, but not exclusively military boot camp? I mean, I think it's like if anyone had their privacy invaded, it's just like, I think it really comes down to more control versus privacy. What was that? I need to be in control of the environment to an extent. Even if it's being perceived as not having control because of the place I'm letting myself be at, but it's like my understanding I'm letting myself be there in order to gain leverage in a situation. So what was the question? Oh, like military, like privacy, like whatever, but like control, yes, that. What songs have you been playing on repeat? Oh, let me tell you. I discovered a song that I liked the other day, and I'm pretty sure I've been playing it nonstop. Hold on, wait for it. This is good. It's giving me a second to rest my voice because I already feel like I'm starting to lose it. How long it's been? 58 minutes and I'm losing my voice. Can you believe that? Wow. Indy, stop crying. His ball is stuck under the couch. I'm not getting it for him. All right, this song, it's by Haywire. It's called Never Count on Me. It's a jam, all right? Hold on, I'll write it in the comments so you guys can listen to it. So yeah, I have a very interesting collection of music. That's one of the more normal things that I listen to. I want to get the ball. Oh, dang, now I feel bad. Okay. You want to get the ball for my dog. I should probably. Yeah, Vanessa Van Edwards. She's great. Vanessa Van Edwards, she does talk a lot about FE. Fun fact, Vanessa Van Edwards is an INTJ. She's exactly the same as Marie Forleo, if you guys know who she is. Sorry, I have to get this dog. I have to get the ball for my dog because you guys are better people than me and make me feel like I have to do this. Okay. Jeez. Wow, I literally cannot find it. Hold on. Coming back, I promise. Andy, where did it go? There's no ball underneath there. Here you go. Here's a new toy. All right, so I couldn't find where his ball went, so I gave him another toy. He doesn't like it, so I tried. Yeah, Suicide Sheep is good. How's the weather? The weather here in sunny South Florida is warm and slightly sticky. Why do we hate small talk? Because small talk is usually touching on just like basic sensory things, and it's hard. That's like a lot of SF, and those are our bottom functions, and so we feel relatively disconnected with it. So do I listen to music while working? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends what frequency am I on. And if I'm like operating at a really high frequency, the words, I can't do words. It's too distracting. But if I'm in like a vibey space, I can do lots of the words. Yes, I've met INTJ men, and honestly, we're very the same. Like INTJ males feel like my siblings. Like they feel like we're speaking the same language, we're talking on the same frequency, and we are just very the same. Yeah. Let's see. You answer people as your favorite puzzle, but what is the proudest or most satisfying puzzle you have solved in your life? Oh my gosh. Most satisfying. I mean, honestly, I feel like life itself is the most satisfying puzzle as a whole. And so it's like, I'm going to be done when it's all over. And that's going to be, at the end of the day, the most satisfying puzzle I've ever solved. Yes, go ahead and hijack the comment section. Please do. Having Effie and Essie to get that ball. Yeah, she let me eat popcorn again. Not a good idea. Indy, stop it. Come here. Come here. Just in case you guys thought I was talking to myself, there's actually a dog here. Oh my gosh, I can literally feel the piece of popcorn kernel on the back of my throat right now. Where's my water? Oh, it burns like fire. Okay. I don't have any siblings. Nope. Oh, I like Apex Twin. Stop it. Thank you for saying my dog's beautiful. He's a Papillon, aka the butterfly dog. He's really half cat. Like if you guys have ever had cats, Indy is like a dog that's 50% cat, 50% dog. Not a full dog. No way. No chance. How do I deal with people who say I come off too strong? I usually don't get people who say, people will never say that to me, but I think sometimes people will feel intimidated by me until they get to know me better, because all they're just getting is that masculine NI, masculine TE, like shove on the NT nerdiness. And so it's kind of just overwhelming for people. But it's like, I'm still very conscious of where people are at. And my goal at the end of the day is to like get people to understand things, get things communicated, just to get things to work, right? Like, I don't care about the motion so much. I just want things to work. So I'm tuned into what people need, but just not like someone who's an FE user is. So, any personal development goals that are not work related? I always have personal development goals. I would say right now is really tuning into what is TE. How can I simulate? I mean, not TE. How can I simulate TI more for myself? And it's like, okay, I have a dominant T function, but the way TI does logic versus the way TE does logic is very different. So I'm trying to like take a page out of the TI handbook and apply it to my own TE more. So how do you have deep friendships with ENFPs when they consider everyone of their 40 friends to be their best friend? I mean, you just have to take it for what it is. It's like, yep, you're 1 to 40. That's all you got. Yes, I do notice the difference between jumper INTJs, but I notice the difference now. But honestly, like, for example, Dave Superpowers, he's a jumper INTJ, right? So he's activated in NI and FI. Those are his savior functions. When I started watching his videos back in the day, I knew by how he was presenting his material that he had the same functions as me. I knew 100% he was an INTJ. I did not know what his type was at that point. But I was like, this guy thinks the same way that I do. And that's actually what got me to stay in typology when I was about to like jump in and jump out and peace out, because the community at large was not something that I didn't understand it. Some of like the groups and things like that. And I was like, I don't think this is what I'm here for. But then I found Dave's content and I was like, okay, at least he's using this for self-growth and at least he understands things the way that I do. Come to find out he's an INTJ, but a jumper. So they're similar. I do notice the differences more now, but still an INTJ. Everything is connected, 100%. The death stare too strong. I never understood the death stare. That I was like, what is this INTJ stare people are talking about? And then it was really actually when I did some videos with some other people and I saw how I was like talking to another person in the video camera lens, watching it back. And I was like, oh my gosh, no wonder people are uncomfortable with that And it's funny, we're talking about ISTPs later or before. My ISTP friend was like, sometimes he'll be like, why are you doing that thing with your eyes? I'm like, what thing with my eyes? He's like, that thing with your eyes. Mm-hmm. Yes, we do have some RBF. INTJ and INFP relationships, they totally will work. INFPs are very similar to ENFPs. And I think that they can absolutely work. So you're an INTJ with you're an INTP with a death stare. How can I cure this? Blinking helps diffuse the stare. Okay, so this is a good one. You have a few business ideas. We value manic research. Yes. How do you get yourself to say, okay, it's now enough. Let's tie it all together. It seems to never stop with me. So I usually get the information, the pieces I need until like I usually know how much I need. Like usually I'm like, okay, once I have this, and this thing, like in my brain, I'm thinking this. Once I have this, and this thing to cover these holes, then I'm good to go. And it's like, I don't want to take in more than I need because then it's like, I already have the concept aligned. But then it's like, okay, I have the concept aligned. That could take a longer time depending on how big the holes are. So you may have some big holes you need to fill. And that could take weeks, months, years. Like it depends what your idea is, right? But I'm always pinging to like, do I have just the right amount of stuff so I can go and move on to get to the goal? Because for that NI, especially masculine NI, you're always pinging to the endpoint. So you're always looking at like, okay, how do I make this come down and be reduced down to completion versus how do I find more stuff and more stuff and more stuff, But it depends, again, how big the holes are. Why do INFJs apparently have the lowest success rate with relationships? I don't know. I don't know where that statistic came from. My Enneagram type, I one wing 9, I believe. MVP, also expectations. What was MVP in reference to? Oh, yes, minimum viable. Okay, so you're talking about what we're talking about with the business stuff. Yes, absolutely. Oh, there goes my cup. Okay. What's up, Taylor? Flow state up in the house. Taylor, you missed me choking on popcorn like twice. INFJs want everything perfect in relationships. I could see that being true. I don't really know how INFJs work in relationships that much. But I have seen them door slam on people before, which has been entertaining to say the least. You like forks. Excellent. I like sporks and chopsticks. Oh, what happened? I was simply answering questions and eating popcorn. And that was it. That's all I need to choke and almost die. Which, if I choke, you're responsible for calling 911. Mm-hmm. We're talking about social media. Okay. I'm going to get my questions back out. All right, you guys ready to answer something? Wait, these are the same ones I had before. What the heck? Hold on. These are weird questions. Okay, whatever. Yeah, right. The popcorn is delicious. 10 out of 10. Have you ever done mushrooms, LSD, cocaine, or edibles? We're getting into the what is this? The after dark comment or content? What time is it? 9:50. Almost at 10 o'clock. Valid. Have you? This is for you to answer. Have you ever done mushrooms, LSD, cocaine, or edibles? Nope. Only edibles. 2 out of 4. Did them all. Hell no. LSD and edibles. This is fun. Keep answering. All the above. No. Hell no. Never. Wow. Okay. Polarizing. Thank you, Taylor. Only weed and alcohol. No, but I want to do DMT. DMT I'm saving till the day I die because that's when it happens naturally. So I'm about that. Cocaine once. 3 of the 4. Which one haven't you done? 3 of 4. Nothing. Yes, AF. Mm-hmm. Come on, keep answering. I know you're still out there. Only cheese. Only cheese. Cheese isn't a drug. It's an inflammatory. Yes, microdosing is great. Never even drank or did drugs or smoked. Not interested. You go, Hannah. You don't need it. What are edibles? They mean edible marijuanas. Yes, sleep deprivation is mind-altering. Cheese is a drug. If it has penicillin on it. That's very funny. Okay. Ah, this is a good one. Oh, I thought it said something else. Never mind. Now it's not as good. Okay. All right. Do I own a pair of cowboy boots? Do you think I own a pair of cowboy boots? Do you think I own a pair of cowboy boots? Correct. The answer is no. I do not own a pair of cowboy boots. Like that was kind of easy. Wow, some of these are scandalous. Oh, that's why. I combined 2 different packs of cards. Okay. Hold on. I'm getting some more. Don't go anywhere. Coming back. All right. Ooh. This is a great one. Yes, let's get juicy. Yes, let's get juicy. You're killing it on the algorithm. Thank you. I don't have cowboy boots. What is your favorite cup? Do you still have it? Where do you use it? This is the Lindsay kind of card. What's your favorite cup? Let me tell you a story about cups. 99% of them suck ball sack. All right. I've had so many cups. Okay, first of all, I need to drink with a straw because I just can't drink out of a normal cup. I will spill liquids everywhere, even water bottles. How do I spill them everywhere when I'm trying to drink out of them? God only knows. So I've had many cups with straws in my lifetime. However, this cup with this straw, amazing, because it has a little squeegee thing here so that the liquid, if it gets knocked over, it doesn't. Do you see that? This thing is filled to the brim. There's no liquid coming out of here. It's freaking amazing. I've accidentally thrown this thing across the room. It's like slid under the passenger seat in the car. No water comes out. One day, I thought I lost it. I immediately ordered another one on Amazon. I found it then like 2 days later. Now I have 2 of them. Best investment. All right. I'm just enjoying her face. You don't have a favorite cup. Oh gosh. Listen. Everyone needs to have a favorite cup. If you haven't found yours yet, it's a journey worth discovering. Let me tell you. I'm going to tell you a thing or two about cups. What's this cup called? I don't know what it's called. Let's see if there's a name on it. SM. Simple Modern. SimpleModern.com. I found it on Amazon. Simple Modern cups. Let's see. Porcelain coffee cup from your mom. Very nice. Yeah, straws are great. Yes, I've accidentally thrown cups across the room. Totally, because it's like you're holding it, and then all of a sudden the phone rings or something, and you turn around, and then whoop, just fly out of here. It's crazy. So do you have a 5-year plan on the chance we'd be hit by an epidemic? I mean, it's like it's like I'm not planning for the epidemic, but it's like I would be fine. I wasn't concerned because I'm prepared for whatever happens right now, you know? So it's like yes and no. When are you going to change your glasses? I don't think anytime soon. I have 2 pairs of the same glasses, so there's too many dudes in this chat. What up, dude chat? Okay, you guys ready for another question? Here we go. Oh, here's an interesting one. What is the craziest thing you have ever heard a teacher say or do? See that? What is the craziest thing you've ever heard a teacher say or do? I had a science teacher in 7th grade, somewhere in middle school. And one time someone took out a disposable camera in class and tried to take his picture, and he literally lost his shit because he was one of those people that believes that your soul gets taken out every time someone takes a picture of you. And we're just like at a normal public high school or public middle school. and this guy lost it, or the fact that someone like had a disposable camera out. That was interesting. Most extroverted INTJ on earth. I mean, like that's the thing. Is like you see me in a very interesting context. How many people are around me? 0. How many people have I been around today? Only one. That was my business partner who I worked with for 8 hours straight. That was it. What about the day before? Pretty much the same thing. You know, it's like an actual real life. How many people do I see? Almost none. Ever. Yep. So, gosh. Oh, here's a good one. You guys have some good teacher answers. Interesting. Okay, what food do you like that most people find revolting? I definitely have an answer on this. This is great because I get to have observer freakouts like on camera about things. What food do you like that most people find revolting? All right, are you ready for mine? Coleslaw. Coleslaw is freaking disgusting. It's probably the most disgusting. I mean, okay, so granted, I'm vegan, and so like my frame of reference right now is just of like foods that can be vegan easily. You can make a vegan coleslaw. Disgusting. Anything that requires like wet mayo and lettuce, it's terrible. And what's even worse is it distributes its plague of moistness on anything else that's on your plate. If you have coleslaw on there, it's disgusting. And I think people like coleslaw, and I think it's terrible. So, oh, you like coleslaw? Gosh, licorice. Wow. Okay, I am shook by the amount of people who like coleslaw right now. Yes, I'm vegan. I've been vegan for a long time. I don't know who Mila Kunis is. C.S. Joseph typed Mila Kunis as INTJ. Cabbage. Yes. Coconut is, yeah, really? You don't like coconut? I do like coconut quite a bit. Yes, I said moist. 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 Again. Popcorn, celery. Really, I enjoy celery. Century egg. I've heard of that. She's an actress. Okay, cool. That's why I don't know. Pineapple on pizza. Questionable. I could see that. I hate avocados. I've heard of people like you. Do you love avocado and desserts? Vegan logic. Mushrooms. Oh, mushrooms are delicious. Mushrooms are the steak of the vegan world. They're the filet mignon of the vegan world. Okay. Oh, I'm going the wrong direction. We need some fresh ones. Those ones are a little bit stale. I don't like these. I'm sorry. Ah, this one's interesting. What are some of the first things you did on a computer? Yes, mushrooms are amazing. Lynn always commenting on my forehead. Makes me laugh every time. Mushrooms. Yes, mushrooms are delicious. Hey, Stephen Campbell. Welcome to the live stream. All right. Yep. So, what did you guys do? What were your first things you did on the computers? I remember for myself, I played Number Munchers in school. Did anyone else play Number Munchers? Hashtag math. Minecraft, right? No, not Minecraft. No, what am I talking about? That's a totally different game. The one with the bombs and the numbers. Whatever that one's called. What else did I do on the computer? Like, first things I ever did on the computer. Number Munchers, that game. Yeah, that little mine bomb game with the numbers. The heck was that called? Minesweeper? Yes, that sounds correct. Paint. Yes, Paint. Hello. No, I didn't play Minecraft. I played Minesweeper. Yes, the old version. Not the old version, just a totally different game. Freaking Minesweeper. Yeah, I was too old for Minecraft, I think, when it came out or became cool. Let's see. Oregon Trail, yes. I'm saying. Back in the day. Let's see. Ooh, this is a good question. All right. Hang with me on this one. What event in your life would go viral if you had captured it on video? What event in your life would have gone viral if you had captured it on video? I mean, you guys probably heard this story in like my sensory fails video, but when I fell into the engine hatch of the ferry boat, that would have gone viral. Chasing a fly, like that would have been a viral moment. Hey, what up? I didn't know. I didn't say I was going live. I was working all day, and I got home, and I was like, "What do I want to do?" And I was like, "I haven't talked to my friends on the internet in a long time, so this is just me for fun." Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't post about it. Dancing nonstop. Get on with it. Yes. Oh, you got hit by a car while cycling. I'm so sorry. I hope it wasn't in Florida because that stuff happens here a lot. And that's also why I'm literally petrified of riding a bicycle. Is because Florida is. Nope. I've almost been hit by a car just walking on the sidewalk down here. Hannah put Bengay in her eyes. Oh my gosh. Wow. You lost your butt cheeks. Oh my gosh. Got hit in the head at the end of a zip line. Oh my gosh. Internet hugs. Thanks, Lynn. Won't ride my bicycle. Yeah, no, bicycles scare me. Hello, tribe. What up, Kevin? All right. This is interesting. If you had to choose between losing your sense of sight, hearing, or taste, which do you think you could live without? You see this? If you had to choose between losing your sense of sight, hearing, or taste, sight, hearing, or taste, sight, hearing, or taste, which could you live without? My people up in here, taste. I would sacrifice taste. I'd be sad, but I'd be sad I can't eat or not enjoy watermelon, but you gotta do what you gotta do. As she eats popcorn. Oh. All right, for all of you assholes out there, this one's perfect for you. What is a phrase that automatically makes you think less of someone when they use it? Yeah, I know you all have good answers out there. Get them out. Put them out there. This is your one chance. What is a phrase that automatically makes you think less of someone when they use it? Okay, boomer. Let's be honest. Awesome. Irregardlessly. I was going to say that. Irregardlessly. YOLO. You know what I mean. What are you? Interesting. I'm confused. You don't have Facebook? Yeah. Kyler, ignorance is bliss. Yeah. How was work? I'm with you. Don't ask me how work was. It's too complicated to explain. Yes, it's like a work. What they expected. No offense. Yeah, I don't like that one either. How was your day? Yeah. Thanks. Let's work together. Oh my gosh. Nailed it. Let's work together. Okay, let me rant on that one for a second. Where do I begin? I feel as though a lot of times people want to adopt me onto their projects because I can usually figure out how to do the thing that they want to do. It's not my responsibility to figure out someone else's thing. But it's like I'm very capable of working by myself, and that is my preference. Either that or with like one or two highly proficient people. When people are like, oh, we could do this thing together, we could work on this thing together, my immediate reaction is like, no, we can't. It's just like time is the most valuable resource. I have very limited amounts of it. I can coin it out to a few things that are significant and important, and I don't mind doing that. But someone else's full blown project, nope. Is this INTJ happy hour? Yes. Bring your own popcorn. Not my thing. Okay. Oh, another good one. Here's a good one. What do most people fear that you do not? What do most people fear that you do not? What do most people fear that you do not? I'd say death. I think it's something that's like a common fear of people's. I don't fear that. So, yes, we got lots of death in the house. Look at this. Pumping it out. Confrontation. Nice. You don't fear public speaking. I used to think that I feared public speaking, but I realize it's social speaking that I fear, not public speaking. If I'm separated from the audience, I'm good to go. Give me a microphone. I'll say what I need to say and I'll be on my way. But like the social dynamic of interaction, Solitude, great one. Really cold weather or water. Interesting. Awkward talking. I feel you. Yeah, I feel like the public speaking thing, I feel like that's such a perception of, when people say, like, what are you scared of? It's like so many people say or think that they should say public speaking. But I bet a lot of you, if you think it's public speaking, it's really not. You just maybe haven't had any practice in doing it. So it's like, I can do public speaking or like debate, for instance, right? I'm comfortable with that. It's like the social interaction of speaking because that's more SF oriented. If I'm public speaking, it's probably going to be something that I know really well what I have to be talking about, and then boom, I'll fire through it, no problem. Again, it's not like a dynamic interaction. It's like you're just blasting. So I'm fine with that. But also sometimes, if you record yourself, even with your phone, and you watch it back, you might be surprised at how much you don't suck at it. So thank you, Tim A, for saying my project is impressive. Snug is great. Fear of rejection. Yeah. Being alone. Gonzalo, what do you teach? How much can you bicep curl? I have no idea. I've been doing a lot of push-ups though because there's not much to do right now. So it's like shame. Interesting. Yeah. Yep. The right people. I have a good little team. We fire through some good stuff. Lots of hard work though. Let me tell you. Still lots of hard work. Worked on it for 8 hours today. So that's my Saturday. What is the card game called? This is called Uncommon Questions. Yeah, Tim, sometimes it is hard, but I feel as though if it's a really great idea and you really believe in it, then it can be easy to bring someone else into it. But you have to be sold on your own idea before you can sell someone else on it, you know. How to get into MBTI? I saw a deficiency in myself, which I didn't know at the time was FE, that I could not do FE very well. And so I went to figure out what that thing was so that I could be better at it, because I didn't want to not be good at it for the rest of my life and be basically debilitated in that one area. So not giving myself the optimal leverage to conquer situations in the best way that I could. So I didn't know what it was. It was FE, and I learned about it, and I learned how to get better in it, and then have been using typology as a tool for understanding myself and others ever since. You'll do what it takes. Yep. They're so serious and interesting. That's funny. Thank you. Yeah, we're hanging out, reading popcorn. I'm losing my voice slowly but surely. This is the most I've talked all week. Not even kidding. The Super Mama chat option. I don't know. I feel like that's a money thing that I've not looked at. Damn it, Demon Sensory. Okay. Ooh. Here's a good one. I want you guys to answer this. What smell do you find pleasant that most people find revolting? What smell do you find pleasant that most people find revolting? I know some of you guys are weird out there. Make sure you answer it. What the heck is going on with this camera light? What smell do you find pleasant that people find revolting? Where's my water? Skunks. Interesting. Tofu and durian. Durian. My friend has an amazing story about durian. If you guys don't know about durian, it's a very stinky fruit. And herself and her husband were eating durian outside of an airport somewhere in California. And they ate the durian and they threw it in the trash. And then someone smelled the smell. They thought it was a bomb. And so they called the bomb squad to the airport and they surrounded the garbage can. Come to find out, it's just some stinky ass fruit in there. It's not actually a bomb, but I thought that was like the best story. Super glue. Joseph, answer the question. Answer the question, Joseph. Blue cheese. Bomb squad. Yeah, pretty. I don't know what a bomb smells like, but apparently it's a very strong odor, and apparently it's similar to durian. The smell of barns, interesting. I really like the smell of fire. But I guess some people like that. Basically anything that's burning, except for plastic. But like the smell of like gasoline burning, like white gas burning, wood burning, anything that's like burning. But I don't like the smell of cigarettes or cigars, so not tobacco. Chlorine. All right. Have you ever faked something? What did you fake and why did you do it? Have you ever faked something? What did you fake and why did you do it? I have sometimes when people talk and they're like, it's one of those small talky conversations that most of us try to avoid if at all possible. And they're like, oh yeah, you know about this movie or you know about this person, you know? And sometimes I'll just be like, oh yeah, of course. But I have no freaking idea what they're talking about. Like almost anytime someone mentions a name of a person that's like known or a movie that's known or anything that's pop culture that's known, and they're like, oh yeah, you know about this thing, right? I'll just be like, oh yeah, because like the fact that I don't know it is 10 times harder to explain than just being like, oh yeah, of course, everyone knows. I mean, I don't say that, but I'm just like, oh yeah, sure, get on with your story. Get to it, all right? What's the damn point? Liking someone because I wanted more. We all have to fake. I'm always faking that I know pop culture. Yeah, right. But then there's some things that you can't fake because then sometimes people are like, oh, yeah, you know that. And they'll be like, you have to respond to whatever thing it is. And like, then you're like, no, I really don't know what we're talking about. And that's harder. You're leaving because no one is as bad as you. I don't know what you're not bad about. Or, you know, I love debating, but I haven't had anyone bring up a good debate yet. So how are you still alive almost 2 hours? I don't know. I thought I almost hit my plateau at an hour. That's when my voice started to go. But I think I started eating some popcorn and it revived my fuel a little bit. Yep. Yeah, sometimes you have to pretend to be dumb. That's true. It's like, do you really want to talk at your full capacity of your ability? Or do you want to communicate with someone where they're at? That is something people have to decide for themselves. Or when you see someone, they look familiar and they clearly know your name, but you do not know theirs. 100%. There's oftentimes when someone's like, oh yeah, Lindsay, how are you doing? And I'm like, oh hey, like, nice to meet you. And they're like, we've met before. Like, those are always awkward conversations. How long have you been indoors? For like a few hours. I was outside of doors earlier. Yeah, it's easier to fit in that way. Popcorn and black cherry Kool-Aid. Ooh, that's interesting. I'm very interested by that. Right. Oh, here's a good one. Logic, thinking friends of the internet. What is your most illogical fear? 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 What's your most logical? Okay. My most illogical fear. Um, what's my most illogical fear? It's probably falling or catching things. I know that's really like vague, but I feel like things that I'll fear most in the moment, like if someone's this is gonna sound so stupid, but if someone's like, "Hey, Lindsay, ready? Like, here, go catch this thing," I'm just like, no, please don't throw anything at me because I know I'm not going to catch it. Like, I know I'm going to try to catch that thing and I'm going to hit it. Probably it's going to, so just no one ever throw me anything, please. And that's an illogical fear. I mean, if it is, it's like, I know I'm not going to catch it. So maybe it is logical, but it's like kind of stupid to be afraid of it. I don't know. The most logical fear. Look, foods that have expired or things that are left out, that's food oriented, that freaks me out. Hey, Lindsay, catch. No. You want to see me make the most terrible face in the world? Try throwing anything at me. It's terrible. Yeah, you're talking about illogical or logical fear. I think you got more of an anxiety of SE things than super weak SE. How long have you known you're a 9TJ? Have you ever done any sports? I've known I'm a 9TJ for 2 years. 2 years. Yep. That's when I discovered typology. I've been balls deep ever since. Yes, I have done sports. My parents forced me into swimming when I was a kid. So I did swimming. I also played soccer for a bit. So that was okay. I was never really good at soccer. I could run fast, but that was about it. In swimming, I was okay. Sailing. Actually, sailing was probably my favorite sport, if you consider that a sport. But I liked sailing a lot. Were you always scared of balls? Actually, I think. I mean, but the thing is, it's not always balls that people throw at you. Sometimes they throw at you other things. You can never be too sure. Catch my heart. Oh, that's sweet. You guys are making me laugh. It's not easy. Logical fear is settling for less in life. Hannah, my girl. Scared to swim. Lindsay loves to go fast. Do I? On a serious note, having it open up completely to someone. Yeah, opening up to someone is not easy. Like revealing your innermost FI. Good luck pulling that out of me, y'all. Like, it's uncomfortable. FI doesn't like sharing its FI. We want to keep it tucked away. Yeah, I mean, we can do SC. The thing about SC is like, if I'm doing one thing over and over again that's SE oriented, I can do SC. Like, but it's like I've been practicing that one thing for years, you know? And so, yeah, if I'm able to practice that one thing, now throw me into like something else, like no. Or like have me in a normal situation, no. Like have me walk down that's another thing, like a logical fear, walking down steps. But it's also because I've fallen down so many steps before. So again, it's not really illogical because it's a fear based on actual reality. So yeah, you have to switch to SE mode. Mm-hmm. Yes, the rope stuff I do, aerial, which sadly I haven't done in almost a year now. Do I feel German in spirit? I don't know what that would be like. Are you musical at all? Yes, I am musical. I played the bass. Well, I played the bass. I played the piano some, but mostly the bass. I used to be far more doing things like that, but not anymore. What are your views on the difference between social compatibility, romantic compatibility, and camaraderie? So, social compatibility, I feel like you are more socially compatible with people who are like, if you're a Savior S, you're going to be more socially compatible with people who are also Savior S. If you're Savior N, same thing. You're going to tend to go towards people who are having that same observer function, either if it's N and NE and NI or SE and SI. And then romantic compatibility, I think it's opposite in your deciding function. So if you're a thinker, you're going to tend to want to be with a feeler, feelers with thinkers. I played upright bass and bass guitar. Yep. And camaraderie, I mean, that's just kind of like getting along with anyone. So yeah, it's like I can be musical. Like I was able to practice and get good at, playing my instrument, but it's like I wasn't naturally talented. It's like I had to work hard to do it, which was fine. Like I was able to figure out how to work hard in order to get somewhere, but you also see people who are just so naturally gifted in music. Like I had to work. Oh, you play piano and are learning bass. Awesome. Interesting with the German stuff. Okay. What is a subject that you'd like to learn more about? What is a subject that you'd like to learn more about? A subject. Okay, subject. I would say a subject that I would like to learn more about. I would say, okay, follow me for a second. A subject I like to learn more about is like the fermentation process of foods and like the bacterias that those foods can produce through fermentation, like the positive and the negatives, and then also the bioavailability of those bacterias. So like what kinds of foods and like minerals present in those foods, and like what is like the elemental composition of those foods that allows for certain bacteria to grow and in what environments, and then how our body's able to utilize those. So kombucha. Yeah, kombucha would fall into that category. Computer science. Do I ferment anything myself? No, because I don't know very much about it, and I know I'd screw it up. But I do enjoy kimchi. So oh, baking bread. I can't really bake anything. Baking is one of those things I found that you can't really fake. And if I cook things, I fake it. I can bake it pretty well with like cooking regular foods, but you can't really fake baking things as much. So biotechnology or food science possibility. Yeah. Yeah, I've always really been interested in like nutrient biochemistry. Uh, that's almost what I went back for my master's in. But I decided not to do that and to start up a tech company instead. So, taxonomy. Yep. Oh, this is called Black Jewel Popcorn. and there's like oil on it, and it's not butter. And it's very white. This is probably the whitest popcorn I've ever seen in my life. You see that? Probably there's not butter on it, right? That makes sense. Ah. Okay. Sorry, I'm skipping a few of these. They suck. Ooh. This one is good. Yeah, nutrient biochemistry, because I like nutrients and how they're used by the body. How long to decide the style of glasses that I want? I've had a few different styles of glasses since I've been like 12 or 13. And for some reason, these are just the ones that I've stuck with. Bootstrap! Oh my gosh, that was the funniest thing to run across. Wow. Okay. Sorry, inside joke. Okay. Okay. So, what is something cheap that you think would cost more, and why? Do I keep a garden? No. I kill plants. It's sad. Something I think should cost more. Honestly, really food. Like, I know we complain about food prices and things like that, but if you consider like food is literally providing your cellular structure that allows you to be a human, like what you eat is what you are, and that's a high value item. So honestly, food. What diet am I on? I'm a vegan. I don't eat meat. Air. Control the air, you control the world. What is something that happens really fast that you wish you could slow down? Esther already answered it. Time. 100% time. Let's see. The stream. When and why did you become vegan? I became vegan when I was, well, at first I started as a vegetarian when I was 15 years old. I had to do a speech. I was in a speech class at 15, and I had to do a speech on a controversial subject, and I just happened to pick factory farming. Like luck of the draw, picked factory farming. I did research into how our foods are curated from animals and what that required. And I had to, speak on it to an effect that I was convincing with this subject. And then I realized that, if I had a pet duck at that age, and I realized like I loved my pet duck, and I realized if people ate duck, and if I had to eat my pet duck, like I couldn't do it. Then I was like, if I did that with a cow, if I had a pet cow, I couldn't eat a pet cow. If I had a pet chicken. I couldn't eat my pet chicken. And so then I was like, well, I'm just a damn hypocrite if I keep eating meat. And that's when I stopped. And then about like 8 years later, I became vegan. Then that was that. So. A lot of people saying time. Yep, time speeds up. What's something that you find badass? That's interesting. What's something you find badass? What is badass to you? Bye, SS. What is something you find badass? Something I find badass are people who follow their passions and their visions and their convictions despite what the world says. I think that's super badass. People who are good listeners, but also independently think for themselves. People who are wildly balanced. And black holes. Honey badgers. Yeah, people who are genuine. I'm making a mess. Oh, all right. What makes you nervous? What do you do to cope with your nervousness? Wait, let me answer for all of you. Talking in social situations. I know. Everyone can't answer with that, all right? What makes you nervous and what do you do to cope with your nervousness? What makes me nervous? Salespeople. And what do I do to cope with that nervousness? I usually just run away. Talking to girls makes you nervous, so you don't. Why does talking to girls? You're talking to me right now, Jake. All right, so I don't like your attitude. Large crowds with a noise. Yeah. I don't like loud, like noisy areas either. Like lots of noise. Nope. Presenting. Public speaking. Phone calls. Oh, phone calls. Yep, Shannon. My pretty's at a distance, so it's no direct danger. That's funny. Being put on the spot. Yeah, I see that. Noise if it's dark. Interesting. I haven't thought about that. I'm going to marinate on that. You haven't started a channel for 3 years because you can't be out there. Listen, I was in the same boat as you. I tried to start my channel now, like 4 or 5 years before I ever really uploaded and kept my first video. So consider that. It took me 4 to 5 years to actually get this content. And then once I just like mentally committed to it, and I'm like, I'm doing this whether I like it or not, no matter how terrible it is to watch these videos back of myself and edit them, then I just push through, and then it becomes less weird and it becomes less horrific putting yourself out there. But you know what? Then you just do, and then it becomes okay and becomes normal. So push through it. You'll find it at your right time. But yeah, everyone's like, wow, you do so good talking on the video on the internet. I'm like, yeah, for 4 or 5 years, like that didn't happen. But thank you. I'm grateful. What's up, Jonathan? Practice makes perfect. It does. Amen. Do I have a method to produce my videos? In what aspect? I always frame out my videos. Like I frame the content I'm going to be speaking about, kind of like my highlights and points. Sometimes I put those into a blog post, as you guys have seen. And sometimes I just have like kind of like bulleted notes of what I want to cover. Then I hit them, get to the point, then I'm done. So my typical Big 5 score, oh my gosh. I think I wrote it down in here, but I don't remember. Let me see. Hold on. I'll give you 2 seconds if I can find it. Big 5. Oh, Big 5 test results. Let's see. This was from 2018. What does it actually say? I don't know how to read this score. I'm sorry. I'm open to new experiences. More conscientious. In the middle of introverted, extroverted. I'm highly disagreeable. And I'm relatively calm and relaxed. So yeah. All right. So, but yeah, very similar, Jake. Okay. Where were we? Do I struggle to listen or pay attention at times, given feminine sensory and feminine FI demon consume? Damn it, Jonathan. Why you calling me out like that at the end of the live stream? Yeah, I definitely. I mean, I feel like anyone can struggle to listen on certain subjects, but yeah, I definitely. I mean, especially if my NT brain is going somewhere else, it takes a lot of effort to ground me in what that other person's talking about. Yes, I'm 1 wing 9. Thank you, Hannah. Lindsay, do you find it easy or difficult to fit into the culture you live in? I feel as though I've defined my own culture, which is you friends of the internet. The culture, normal culture, it's like, no, I never really felt that was my place, you know? It just kind of feels like you're acting to be human and you're doing your best to do the human things. And it seems like you're a transplant on this planet, and that's okay. That's just how it is, and you have to deal with it. But I feel as though creating a culture of like-minded people through internet friends and things like that has been a great value to me. So Where do I live? I currently live in Florida from New York. Oh, another 1.9. Hello. Internet is my culture. Yes. Yes. Yeah, I'm in Florida. It's hot and sticky and moist here. Moist. Okay. I'm going to do like 2 more questions, guys, and then my little voice has had a lot. Okay. Let's make it a few last good ones. Okay. Okay. What irrational fear did you have as a teenager? What irrational fear did you have as a teenager? No, I don't ever read the news in Florida. It's a waste of time. But it is very funny sometimes. Brianna, you live in Colorado. My best friend lives there in Denver. Most irrational fear as a teenager? I think my biggest fear, or the thing I didn't understand, is I think I just thought that people gave way more shits than they do. Like I thought people cared more than they actually do. And then I got a little bit older and I realized that people really only just care about themselves. Like people pretend like they care for a second, or and I'm talking about like more like in a negative sense, but like because you just think like when you're younger that everyone cares, and it's like you're thinking that people care about you, but they literally are thinking about themselves and their own leverage in life and their own survival. So I think that was more like an irrational fear, is that people cared. So ooh, okay. This is going to be the one that we're going to end on. Asking a girl out on a date. Good for you, Jason. You asked those girls out. Okay. You have an hour. What situation can you put someone in to learn the most about them? This is a great question to end on, guys. Are you ready? I need you to pay attention to this one. You have an hour. What situation can you put someone in to learn the most about them? No torture. Let's leave torture off the table, okay? Or like physical torture. No waterboarding, okay? What situation can you put someone in to learn the most about them? I'm going to take a second to figure this out in my head first. Okay. So this is what I think before I look at your answers. If I had an hour to put someone in a situation where I could learn the most about them, what I would make a person do is I would give them an objective to accomplish, but I wouldn't only give them the goal to accomplish this objective. They would have to do it with the help of a team. And so they would be required not only to accomplish the thing within an hour, but to get 5 other people on board to help them accomplish this relatively hard thing, right? So I feel like this plays into all 4 axes, right? So you have control and chaos of things, right? You're having to pull together the organization of something centralized in order to get to completion on something. But then you also have the self and tribe dynamic. So you can see how the person, if they're either leading with what's working for people, how people are feeling, or if they're leading with the self function. And so that's what I would do, because I feel like it would cover both axes really well. And depending on how that person leads or doesn't lead, organizes or doesn't organize, I feel like that would be a good situation to judge off of. Okay. Conversation, yeah. An argument about who they are. An argument about who they are. That's a good one. Going out on a date. A room alone and not talking. Let's see. She's describing playing Overwatch. What is that? Scrabble? Interesting. Yeah, the current COVID is definitely exposing a lot. Take some shrooms with them out into the woods. That's the damn truth. All right, with that said, you guys, it's been real. I can't believe I've lasted this long. My face is sweaty. My neck hurts. I'm grateful for your time. If you're interested, we have used cards from the game Uncommon Questions tonight. I also accidentally had pulled out some cards from this game. Do you know me? Jeez. Do you know me? And so, yeah, that's kind of what we hit. And I'll see you guys next video. Thank you. This was fun. I appreciate you guys. I don't want to leave, but also, your girl's tired. She's going to sleep. All right. I love you all very much. Bye.